What is assessment year? Assessment year is a year where the assessor's income will be assessed for the payment of tax. According to Income Tax Act of 1961, there are two basic conditions are there. The first basic condition says for me here, during previous year, that is 2023-24, my stay in India, it should be more than 182 days. Whenever the question comes here, types of income means we have here two types of income, Indian income and foreign income. Warm welcome to 5th Sem B.Ba student. The subject we are discussing income tax 1. In this subject, we are going to learn what different types of income and taxable income and non-taxable income, exempted incomes and types of taxes and types of income. Every concept will be learned and which tax we have to pay and how much we have to pay and how we have to pay. We are going to learn every concept of the income, what we have earned in the life and what tax we have to pay and when we have to pay. I am Professor Rajesh L.R. from Department of Commerce and Management from Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In today's session, the agenda what we have taken here, we are going to have the introduction concept of the syllabus, and next we are going to learn what are the outcomes are they from this income tax 1 and income tax concepts, and how many modules are there, and what are the things we have to learn here, and what are the things we have to collect from the society which supports for me, not only for my education, even for my future purpose also. And later we are going to see what is the exam pattern as per University of Mysore for 5th semester as per NEP syllabus. We have the syllabus here. Totally there are 5 units are there. In that 5 units, the first unit informs us the basic concepts of tax. It is nothing but here we are going to learn the entire brief history of income tax and canons of taxation. Canons is nothing but the principles of taxation we are going to learn, and even we are going to learn the definitions as per Income Tax Act of 1961, which supports the students to get the definition exactly what it means and how we have to write in the examination and how it supports for the individuals in their future life whenever they're earning certain sorts of income and how they have to pay tax and when they have to pay tax. Next, we are going to learn here the residential status for the payment of tax. Residential status we are going to learn here for the payment of tax, whether I'm a resident or non-resident. If I'm a resident, whether I'm an ordinary resident or not an ordinary resident. And then we are going to assume that if I'm a resident, ordinary resident, and what are the tax I have to pay, on which one I have to pay, and how we have to pay the tax. And later, the incidence of tax. It is nothing but the source of income from where it is coming. Whether it is Indian income earned in India and received in India. So, we have to check that one, whether I am receiving entire income in India only and all the incomes, whatever I have received here, whether earned in India. So, then it is taxable or not. Those concepts will be learned in incidence of tax. Next, if I'm an employee, working in any organization, if I receive salary, though in that salary, so which are the salary breakups that are given, and in that one, what type of deductions I may get here, and what are the allowances given by the employer to the employee, in that one, which are the taxable allowances we have, fully taxable, partially taxable, and fully exempted allowances, which are the allowances we have, and how much I have to pay for the government on what benefit I have received. So those concepts we learn in the income from salary. And then it will be income from house property. If I have a residential property or commercial property which has been let out for the rent, and if I'm earning from that one, and whatever the source of income I received through the property which has been let out for either residential or commercial, and what tax I have to pay and how much I have to pay tax, and what are the deductions we are going to get in the house property income. And later we are going to discuss what is TDS. TDS is nothing but tax deducted at source. So whatever the income we are receiving here, on that the tax will be deducted. How much they're going to deduct, whether the tax will be refunded for me or not, if I'm not coming into this slab of the tax payable. So then whatever the tax it is deducted from the source where I've received, it is going to be refunded by the government or not, and how I can get back those amount, even in the case of salary, house property, or wherever the incomes we have earned and tax has been deducted, and if I get any benefit from that or not, we're going to discuss. And what is the advanced tax ruling? So in the initial stage, in the month of April itself, I'll calculate how much income I may earn in the 12 months. So from April to March year, and in that total income, whatever I'm earning here, what is the tax I have to pay to the government? So out of that, when I can pay tax in advance to the government before completion of 1 year, can I pay the advance tax to the authorities or not? We are going to learn these concepts in the Unit 5. It is very important, and each and every chapter covers certain weightage of marks in your examination, which we are going to discuss through the unit wise. So now the first unit what we have here, the basic concepts of income tax. Here we are going to learn the introduction concept of income tax. Next concept will be meaning of tax will be there, and types of taxes are there. Canons of taxation we have here. Canons is nothing but the principles of taxes, and here types of taxes is nothing but will be direct tax and GST. Now we have GST. Earlier it was calling as indirect taxes. Now direct tax and goods and services tax. Now, in these two taxes, which are the taxes will be considered in the income tax? Those concepts we are going to discuss here. The brief history of income tax and legal framework of taxation as per the rule of 1961, and how we have to pay and what are the things we have to pay here. And next we have the important terms as per the income tax of 1961, which is very important for each and every person who falls under the tax concepts. So first we should know what is assessment year. Assessment year is a year where the assessor's income will be assessed for the payment of tax. So those things we are going to learn as per the definition. And the assessment year for current year students, it will be assessment year will be 24-25, and previous year will be 23-24. These concepts we are going to learn for the entire subject. The previous year will be 2023-24 and assessment year will be 2024-25. That is nothing but 1/4/2023 to 31st March 2024 is my previous year. 1/4/2024 to 31st March 2025 is my assessment year. So this is the entire, for the entire syllabus. Whenever we ask what is assessment year or previous year, my previous year, it will be 1/4/2023 to 31st March 2024, and the assessment year will be 1/4/2024 to 31st March 2025. And then we are going to learn previous year, and then we are going to learn the exceptions and the assessee. Who is an assessee? A person who falls in the bracket of income either directly or indirectly for the payment of tax is called assessee. So those things we're going to learn in depth in the unit 1. Person according to Income Tax Act 1961 under section 2 subclause 31, the person has been defined. We're going to discuss, and it is a compulsory question for your examination for 2 marks. Next, we're going to learn income. Income. So your concept we have to learn clearly here. There are 2 things here: types of income and heads of income. So here, whenever the question comes here, types of income means we have here 2 types of income: Indian income and foreign income. If they ask types, so then I have to say Indian income and foreign income. If they ask heads, we have here income from, heads of income will be here income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession, income from capital gains, income from other sources. If the question is in the form of heads of income, I have to write 5 heads. If they ask types of income, we have only 2 incomes, that is Indian income and foreign income. So analyze the question properly and then answer. Don't get confused here. Types of income, we have only 2. That is Indian income, foreign income. Heads of income, we have 5. That is nothing but income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession, income from capital gains, and income from others. So these are the heads of income. Don't get confused with the question. We are going to discuss in-depth concepts in the unit 1. And next we are going to learn what are casual incomes, what is my gross total income, adding all the 5 heads income is my gross total income. From this, if any deduction is deducted there, and the next part will be a total income. Then we have here agricultural income. Agricultural income is an income which are exempted under Income Tax Act of 1961 under section 10. So here, I should know that one clearly. Whatever the income we are earning in the agriculture, the entire income what we have earned, that is exempted from tax. So these concepts in depth we are going to learn in the upcoming sessions. Next, we have here scheme of taxation. Exempted incomes of individual under section 10. It is a compulsory question for section B, that is 10 marks. So go through the information properly. If you write 10 points here, it is very easy. Out of 10 points, only one we have here, agriculture income. Remaining 9 points we are going to discuss in the upcoming sessions, and we are going to learn which taxes are exempted. Means nothing but which income is exempted under section, whatever I have received as a source of income for the life. So in my life, which are the incomes we are going to receive that are not taxable in our hands? Those concepts we will learn and understand and clearly make yourself that one useful in your future life, and which supports your education as for your future life also. This is a concept what we have in the unit 1. Next we have here residential status and incidence of tax. It is nothing but residential status means for the payment of tax, we have to calculate the status of a person, that is determination of residence status of an individual, that is nothing but a resident. Under that we have 2 things, ordinary resident and not an ordinary resident. So next we have here non-resident. If I'm a resident, whether I'm an ordinary or not an ordinary. So we have to calculate or determine the residential status before paying the tax to the government. And here, whether I'm a non-resident. Sir, how will come to know whether I'm a resident or non-resident? According to Income Tax Act of 1961, there are 2 basic conditions are there. The first basic condition says for me here, during previous year, that is 2023-24, my stay in India, it should be more than 182 days. 182 days or more. If I've stayed in India for a period of more than 182 days, so then they are going to call me a resident. In the 2 basic condition, if I satisfy any one basic condition, I'm going to become resident. If I doesn't satisfy any of the basic condition laid down by the Income Tax Act 1961, so then they're going to call me a non-resident. In depth, we're going to learn in the upcoming sessions. Incidence of tax or scope of total income. It is nothing but from where we are receiving the income, how much we are receiving that income, and whether it is taxable fully or not, under which case it is taxable, ordinary resident or not ordinary resident or non-resident, in which residential status it is not taxable and why it is not taxable. In depth we are going to discuss, and compulsory question will be there for you people in the examination on incidence of tax. The same thing next we have here, problems on computation of gross total income of an individual. We are going to write all the 5 heads of income. We are going to total that one, gross total income, and we are going to deduct the standard deduction. And then what is the taxable income we are going to calculate. We are going to give the format and we are going to solve some problems, and we are going to give you additional information how to solve the other problems which you're going to get in the examinations. The next part we have here, Unit 3, income from salary. Income from salary is for a person who is working in any organization as employee. His designation may be anything here. What if he receives salary? Is an employee where he's working in the organization, earning the source of income through monthly basis as a salary. Whenever the term uses salary, it is taxable under the head of income from salary. So now, in that, we're going to discuss the meaning of salary. What are the basis of charge we have here? Salary definition, perk visits. Perk visits is nothing but the additional benefits received by the employee from his employer. And the perk visits will be given only for certain people in the higher designation level, and these benefits are given for the survival in the society. And next, we are going to have profits in lieu of salary, means giving the salary, including profits, sharing the profits with the employees. We are going to discuss. And provident fund we have here. It is very important theory question as well as practical question. In the provident fund, we have here statutory provident fund, recognized provident fund, unrecognized provident fund, and public provident fund. So there are 4 types of provident funds are there, and in that one, first one is statutory, recognized, unrecognized, and next we have public. It is for general public, whatever the public provident fund we have here, and this is unrecognized, means it is not recognized by the Commissioner of Income Tax as per the Income Tax of 1961, and what is the amount we have contributed, it is fully taxable. But in this case, the recognized provident fund, whatever the employer is going to contribute, up to 12% he can contribute. Above that one, it is taxable in the hands of the employee. And whatever the employee contributed to the recognized provident fund under Section 80C is eligible to claim the deduction. These concepts we are going to learn here. And whatever the contribution made by the employer and employee, it is exempted from tax in the statutory, that is for government employees, and it is for other than government employees. So next we have here retirement benefits. At the time of retiring from the organization after serving for n number of years, the employer is going to give additional benefits for the employees who served for the organization, and for the growth of the organization, the employee was major role he was playing in the survival and even sustaining in the market. For that, the company may give certain benefits. In that one, we have here gratuity, pension, and leave salary. So these are partially taxable in the hands of the employee. How much it is exempted and how they are going to calculate, whether it is a government employee, it is taxable or not. If it is a normal employee, where is covered under pension or not. So everything will be calculated, and then we are going to check that one, whether it is fully taxable or partially, or it is not taxable in the hands of the individual. The next we have here deductions. What are the deductions are there under Section Income Tax Act of 1961, and which deductions is eligible for the employee? How he can get those deductions will be discussed here. And then we are going to have compulsory problem for 15 marks, computation of taxable salary, which is very important topic for every individual who are going to work in the organization. Which type of allowances are taxable and what are the allowances I may receive, and whether it is a fully taxable allowance, partially taxable allowance, or fully exempted allowance. So plenty of allowances are there, and we are going to give the breakup for the salary in the form of basic pay, DA, city compensatory allowance, HRA, bonus, telephone allowance, project allowance, deputation allowance, uniform allowance, and marriage allowance, children education allowance, hostel allowance. Every type of different types of allowances are there in this allowances, which are taxable in the hands of the employee or assessee, what we are going to call here under the Income Tax of 1961, will be discussed in depth in the upcoming sessions. Next, we have here 4th unit, the income from house property. In this, we are going to have the introduction, basis of charge, deemed owner, that is nothing but assumed owner in the concept of Income Tax Act of 1961. And then we're going to discuss which are the income we have received from the house property is exempted from tax as under section 10. And then we are going to have composite rent, unrealized rent. Unrealized rent is a rent, the rent which is not collected from the tenant for certain number of months by the owner. When an owner is not received the rent from the tenant for certain number of months, either 1 month or 2 months, that is called unrealized rent. And what is the procedure is there at the time of unrealized rent arises in the problem. We are going to discuss in depth in the unit 4. Then we are going to discuss annual value, determination of annual value and deductions from annual value. So what are the deductions we have from the gross annual value? Always for all the individuals, they'll get under section 24, 30% on the net annual value. Deductions will be given, and which are the deductions are then and how he can claim and for what he can claim, we are going to discuss in the upcoming sessions. And 15 marks compulsory question computation in the case of self-occupied and let out property. Both will be discussed in this concept. And the last unit we have here, meaning of TDS, tax deducted at source. And then what are the provisions are there for that one? TDS to be made from the salaries, tax should be deducted from the salary every month and it should be paid. The employee can claim the amount if is not coming under the slab rate of the income. Then filing of quarterly statements, theory and problems on related to filing the statements as well as the problems we're going to discuss. And then we're going to discuss meaning of advance tax, computation of advance tax and installment of advance tax with the due dates. This is a very important unit for the people to know that one, and paying tax in early without getting burdened at the end of the year and struggling at that time. Like for example, if I want to pay 5 lakhs tax on whatever the income I'm earning here, the 5 lakh can be divided by 12. The amount can be paid every month in the concept of 45,000 per month on an example average basis I'm giving here. So for 45,000 into 12 months, it'll be 5,40,000, or even I can pay here 42,000 here. So whatever the amount I'm paying 42,000 here every month, at the last month, there'll be no burden for me. Like for example, after completion of 31st March or in the month of February and March, the employer says that when you're coming under tax brackets and you have to pay nearly 5 lakhs for the tax. So we are not going to pay you the salary. The entire amount will be paid to the income tax authorities. So it is going to be very difficult for the common person to lead the life here. For that reason, instead of getting burdened after 12 months, the employee can decide that one, what is the total tax I have to pay after 1 year. If I save money on certain things, whether I'm eligible to get the deduction under section 80C to 80U, and how much I may get the deductions for the savings, whatever I've made on different concepts. And if I'm paying the interest with EMI for the property or the construction, whatever I've made here, the residential property, for that, how much benefit we can get. So these concepts will be discussed here, and what is the tax I have to pay, when I have to pay the tax to the government will be discussed here. Already I said that when we have the deduction under section 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD, 80CCG, 80D, 80DD, 80DDB, 80E, 80G, 80GG, 80TTA, 80U and 80L. There are lots of deductions are there which we are going to discuss in the unit 5, and how it is going to be benefited for the individuals will be discussed. It is applicable for the individuals under old scheme. So what is the skill development we have from the income tax concept? What we are learning here, the first concept, we can prepare the slab rates chart for the different individual assessees. So what is the different individual assessee? So here, woman assessee, senior citizen assessee, and super senior citizen assessee, and normal assessee. So there are 4 cases are there: individual assessee, woman assessee, senior citizen, super senior. The 4 different types of individual assessees are there. For each and every assessee, the slab rates are different. So we can prepare a chart and we can have it and we can calculate easily. If they say that one, my age is above 65 years, under which category we are coming. And next we have here, so we can visit any chartered accountant office and we have to collect some procedure involved in the filing of income tax returns by an individual to the income tax authorities. Next, we are going to have the chart here, the 10 exempted incomes, which is compulsory question for your examination for 10 marks. Briefly mention all the exempted incomes under section 10 and I have to write all the 10 points here. For each point, we are going to get 1 mark here. So, if I prepare a chart and keep it that one, even it is going to support for my examination as well as for my future business or employment growth in the market when I receive the source of income, in that source of income which is exempted and which is not exempted. And next one, let us learn the perk visits, the benefits received by an employee from his employer. So, we will prepare a chart on that one. And next, let us identify and collect various enclosures pertaining to the income tax returns, that is ITR 1, ITR 2, ITR 3, income tax return forms we have to discuss. And then last, we are going to have the concept which we can make it out in a simpler way and preparing a file or a PPT, PowerPoint presentation, each and every individual student which supports them and which makes the subject very easy if we prepare a PowerPoint presentation on the concept what we are learning and the information collected from the market, and both if we merge and if we prepare and keep it that one, even I can score in the income tax center marks easily by any students. Even a dull student can score easily if he involves and if we have a confidence that we can do. We build the confidence in you and we support in all the levels to get the center marks in your examination. Only the thing, if you are touched in with us, we support every concept and explain in depth for you people, and we support to score the marks in the examination which supports your future life. The question paper pattern for NEP scheme, what we have here, it has been divided into 3 parts, part A, part B and part C. In part A, we are going to get 7 questions where I have to write 5 questions. Each question carries 2 marks, so totally it will be 10 marks. In the part B, we are going to get 4 questions where I have to write only 2 questions. Each question carries 10 marks, so it is a weightage of 20 marks. In the part C, there are 4 questions where I have to write only 2 questions here. Each question carries 15 marks and total will be 30. The total marks are 60 marks, what we are going to write, the examination, and 40 marks are the internal. So now, internal assessment paper, question paper pattern, what we are going to have in the internal test. For you people, we are going to have part A, part B and part C. Part A is for 5 marks. So here you have to write any 1 question where we are going to give 2 questions. Out of 2 questions, you have to write 1. And in the part B, again we are going to give 2 questions. In that 2, you have to write any 1. And part C, again it will be 2. You have to write any 1 here. And it is compulsory for all the students to write the internal assessment test. And next, the semester examination question paper pattern will be part A, part B, part C. Already I said you people, in question number, whatever we have from question 1 to question 7 in part A, here I have to write 5 and here I have to write 2 and here I have to write 2. So totally it will be 60 marks paper for the students. And here, the minimum marks for pass year, candidates who have obtained a minimum 35% marks in the semester end examination, that is 21 marks out of 60, and the total examination 40% aggregate in the total 40 marks should be there out of 100 marks. Means if I got 21 marks in the theory, my internal assessment marks, it should be 19. So then if I combine both, add that one, 21 plus 19, 40, it should be 40 marks to clear my paper. The textbooks you can refer here as per the Kalyani publication or Bhavan publication or Taxman. Whichever is better for you, you just use those textbooks which support. the information, whatever we're sharing with you people, that's enough. If you want to learn additional concepts and if you want to increase the additional things for doing your CA course or any other professional course through taxation concept, then you can refer the textbooks, or else for undergraduate sector, whatever we are guiding you people, that's enough to score the center marks. Attend the classes, get the information, and get benefited for you in the exams. So next we have the books Himalaya Publication and even Himalaya Publication, Dr. Saha, and the books for the income tax. Always we have to purchase the latest edition. We are in the assessment year of 24-25, previous year 23-24. If you're going to buy a book of 2021-22 assessment year, so then my previous year will be 2020-21. Already plenty of rules and regulations has been changed from 2020-21 to 2023-24. So that's the reason we say that when income tax books has to be purchased of latest edition. The previous year it should be 23-24 and the assessment year it should be 24-25. Thank you to 5th Sem B.Ba student. The subject we have discussed here, income tax 1, and we have discussed each and every concepts, how the income is generated and what are the tax we have to pay. And in this session, we have discussed only the heads of income, income from salary and income from house property. The remaining heads will be studied in the 6th semester. So in this sem, whatever the 5 units we are going to cover, it is very easy where you can score the center marks easily, 60 out of 60. So if you attend and get the class information properly, definitely you'll get center marks, and we are here to support you people. Thank you. Namaste, B.Ba students.